What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling wonderful today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really does warm my heart, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel are for those of you who have Cancer in your placement. Sun, moon, rising, wherever, Cancer. This one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll discuss what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course, just all those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be great, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space, so cleansed. Gems, so great. Just everything, just a wonderful Monday for you, Cancer. And I hope you all had a great weekend too. Now, where the moon's at, the moon is in a last quarter phase now. So she's, this is a good time for, we're getting towards the end of the cycle here. So this is a good time for like meditating and kind of planning for what you got, what you want to start doing for the next lunar cycle there, Cancer. And then also the moon moved into Scorpio. And with the moon being in Scorpio, you may be feeling a little emotionally raw today. Intuition is strong, but you may feel kind of like attuned to like the feelings and like the emotional undercurrents of like everyone around you here. With the moon in Scorpio, I dig it, but it's definitely very kind of like introspective type of energy, and it's like it's a vibe. I don't know how it's an interesting vibration that I've noticed personally for myself with the moon in Scorpio. So pay attention to that energy, Cancer. See how you're feeling. And then lastly, in case you were curious, I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot deck. And I included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to be just a general energy of the day. So higher self, what's the general energy looking like for Cancer today? Let's see how we're going to start this week off, Cancer. Nice. You got the Page of Swords here. And so I feel like with this, we're going to kind of, I feel like maybe we're going to do some kind of like brainstorming this week, and which is appropriate, when I was talking about, us being in that last quarter phase. Channel into this energy, Cancer. See what, maybe what are some like, when I'm thinking about Scorpio energy, Scorpio is a type of energy that's going to kind of do of the water signs. Scorpio is the one that does like a real deep dive, and it wants to pull up everything that we keep kind of hidden from ourselves and bring that stuff up to the surface here. So I feel like while you're kind of maybe doing some kind of like pondering or maybe some meditating or, maybe just, I feel like it may be, at least today, might be a real kind of, just kind of maybe like an introspective day. Definitely tap into that. See if there's if we're thinking about what we're going to do for the next cycle, see if there may be some passions that we may have like repressed. You know what I mean? When we get to like, when we get into life and, we start like, doing like the 9 to 5 and, maybe you have kids along the way and doing all that, we may put some of our other passions on the back burner here. And it's not to say that you're not enjoying your life now, but I'm just wondering if there's like any other things that we can maybe breathe some fun into your life here, Cancer. Just add a little extra joy to your day. And, I feel like too, when we're doing things that are going to be more kind of, when we start doing things that are more so towards what we love, it just like, it breathes in just like new, just like it brings that like kind of fool's energy. Just like it provides that just like a breath of fresh air in the kind of the mundanity of things. So definitely kind of sit on that, Cancer. See if there's something that maybe we can start kind of incorporating into our lives, or maybe back into our lives, over the next few weeks. We got maybe probably about 4 days before we get to 4 or 5 days before we get to the next cycle here. So yeah, sit with that this week. See if there's something that we can explore here, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into the second card here, which is going to be how we can work with this energy here. So higher self, what are some ways that Cancer can work with this energy at this time? And you know what, Cancer, when I'm thinking about it too, the Page of Swords is very much kind of like very studious energy as well. So this may be something too. Maybe some of you are thinking about doing getting back into school. You know, maybe think if you've been something that's been been kind of like contemplating for a while. Maybe look into that. See if we can maybe get some free courses. You know, or not free. Well, you know, if we can find some free college courses, Cancer, go for it. But if we could just find some some courses in general, you know, maybe look into that. You know, there's oh man. Udemy, that's one site that I've used before to like learn random things kind of throughout life here. So that's something to check out. They're usually pretty reasonable if that's something that we're looking to like expand on our knowledge here. But Cancer, all of that to say, your next card, how we can work with the energy, is the Two of Cups. And I like this because this is really kind of like what I was talking about, you know, kind of doing like a deep dive within, you know, the Two of Cups for me, one of the meanings it could have for me is kind of like reconnecting with higher self, you know, and really kind of doing like a check-in with yourself. Are we feeling good? Are we fulfilled where we at with life? Are there some areas where we feel like we could do better at? And I feel like that's what the Two of Cups is kind of saying, you know, really kind of working with what you want at this time, you know, digging into what you feel, you know, what speaks to you. You know, I feel like, you know, there's a source of not only just inspiration possibly with this Page of Swords, but just like, you know, fulfillment on top of that here, you know. I feel like this picture, you know, the Two of Cups can also be a card of love too, you know, so if that's something you're thinking about too, that definitely applies, you know. But I feel like this is like you kind of toasting with your higher self here, you know. We're just like everything's in harmony here, you know. We're just and I feel like that's when we start incorporating those things, you know, those things that make us happy. This is what you're going to start feeling here, Cancer. And another thing too, this is Venus in Cancer. This is one of our cards here. And so, yeah, while you're going through this stuff here, you know, make sure to take, you know, when you're going through the studying here, it's good to, because I know how I can get when I'm learning new things. It's like you can get so caught up in it that sometimes we can get to kind of take care of ourselves and all this stuff here. So make sure that we also just kind of make sure that we're nurturing ourselves and, you know, doing some self-care while we're working with this energy, Cancer. But you know, but overall, this is very exciting. You know, I like where this is going. I feel like this is going to be a pretty chill type of energy we're working with here today. Let's see what are some other ways we can work with energy, Cancer. Higher self, what are some other ways Cancer can work with this energy? Let's see what else we can be doing at this time. Nice, Cancer, look at this. You got the Two of Pentacles here. And you know, this is, oh, Cancer, I feel like this is about really kind of like really the whole thing about what I've been talking about up until now, really finding a way to maybe find a balance to try to weave in, like, you know, like something that you love, you know, on top of with your everyday here. And then maybe I feel like there's something that could potentially kind of unlock with this energy, you know, once we kind of find that groove. You know, I'm not sure how to explain it, you know, but it's, you know, trust your intuition, Cancer, because I feel like when I think about the number twos, I've been kind of looking into really digging more into numerology here as of late. And two, if I'm remembering correctly, is a very intuitive number, and I feel like it's one of those things, Cancer, with all these twos that you're getting so far. You know, really kind of trusting your gut with this thing and, you know, and kind of allow yourself to instinctually kind of navigate this energy here. And I know that may sound kind of weird when I say that, but Cancer, it's going to be one of those things. It's like when you're doing what you love, everything else just kind of falls into place. And you'll see, like, over time, and I would love to see, you know, if this is something that you start kind of practicing and if you're noticing a difference, I would love to hear about it. Definitely comment on this stuff here. But let's get to your next card here, which might be some challenges that we may face with working with this energy. So higher self, what may be some challenges that Cancer might face working with this energy here? Let's see what are some ways this can get in our way here. Oh, interesting, Cancer. That's big. You got the Judgment card here. And so I feel like with this, the Judgment card for me, this is like that big level up. You got like your Death card, transformation, Tower, kind of out with the old, in with the new. Judgment for me is like a level of like ascension. You know what I mean? Like this is like something big is getting ready to happen here. And that's not, don't panic, Cancer. This is exciting. Whenever Judgment comes up, I feel like that's almost like an indicator for me that we're on the right track with whatever you're doing. If I feel like there's something that's going to start resonating in you, Cancer, and it's going to you'll notice that your vibrations are going to start pulling in different things. Going to start seeing that you it's I like this, Cancer. That's really cool. I do feel like this is something, and again, this is not something that this is, and really this is appropriate too, because I've seen the Judgment card in one of my other decks. It can be represented by the planet Pluto, and Pluto is a card of kudos to Pluto is a I'm gonna get it together, Cancer. Let's try one more time. Pluto is the planet of transformation, and it also rules Scorpio. It's one of Scorpio's rulers along with Mars. But, Cancer, really, I really feel like in this next few days, really think about how we want to, maybe in what ways we can think about how we want to grow in this stuff here. Maybe this is like, if we're not going through a judgment per se, let's think about how this ascension is going to look like, because Cancer, I know we just got out of the supermoon cycle within Capricorn, but we're about to hit up another supermoon cycle on the 21st. It's going to be a super new moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a sign of like it's very kind of outside of the box thinking, when I think of Aquarian energy, and just like a time of just really big stuff getting ready to happen here, Cancer. So really, when you have some time, really maybe start thinking about what are just some ways we want to really improve. What's that next level look like for us here? Let's get some. Let's see what other challenges that might come with working with this energy, Cancer. Higher self. What are some other challenges that Cancer may face working with this energy here? Ooh, wow. Here's our friend, Wheel of Fortune. So Cancer, this is okay. So I really feel like that with the Wheel of Fortune, because here's the thing, when you get cards, because you see I'm shuffling, Cancer, so we don't need to have that discussion. But I feel like something to keep in mind, when you see cards like this that keep popping up like that, when we're starting to see like themes like this, it's one thing to get it like maybe like once a week, that may be, but when we're getting it like back to back, space back, you know what I mean? I really feel like it's like the universe, higher self, God, Buddha, Jesus is trying to reach out to you, Cancer. I feel like there's something for you to learn in this thing that we need to, that I feel like that the higher self is trying to help you expand on. There's with this, just with how that these are the challenges here, thinking about that leveling up. I feel like when we start thinking about this thing, the judgment and how that transformation looks like, our Wheel of Fortune is going to come into play, Cancer. Let's get a little bit more on that Wheel of Fortune. Just because it's been following you around so much, Cancer, I just want to see if maybe there's another little kind of nugget in there for that. Higher self, could we please clarify the Wheel of Fortune for Cancer? Let's see if maybe, Cancer, let's see if we can maybe get some guidance on this ascension that you're doing here. Okay, wow, Cancer. The Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands, and that's fantastic. It's really, Seven of Pentacles is about thinking about where you want to invest your energy. That's where this I feel like this whole, it's like you've come to this door, we've got this lock, and we're getting a bunch of keys here. And it's just like, they all fit, Cancer. That's the thing. I feel like when it comes to whatever you want to do, it's whatever you want to do. I just feel like we just need to pick the thing that resonates with you, that makes the most sense with where you're at on your journey right now, that speaks to you. When I was talking about that intuition, trust that gut there, because higher self is not going to lead you wrong. If we trust this energy and learn to work with this energy, everything is going to be a celebration here. It's going to be Four of Wands. Look at these witches celebrating this stuff here because they've gotten their fulfillment here. It's just about getting a game plan with this Page of Pentacles here. This is a brand. The Page of Pentacles for me, it's like if any of you have played Pokemon, on the Game Boy, it's like that. You've just woken up in your bed. You're getting ready to go embark on your journey here. Something. I feel like we're getting ready to get on ascension, Cancer. It's just really, Cancer, figuring out where you want to invest this thing, and then go for it, and trust that this is the path that you're going to go. And then when you hit a spot where it doesn't make any sense anymore, something else is going to open up for you, Cancer. It's just like doors are just going to start opening up. So there's just something to keep in mind when we're working with these energies here. So I hope that kind of helped with this Wheel of Fortune here, because it's like, I don't know how many more ways we can talk about it, because I feel like universe and me want you to get your Wheel of Fortune here, Cancer. But let's get to your last card here, which is going to be some lessons or some advice from this reading here. So higher self, what are some lessons that we got for Cancer here? Maybe some advice for Cancer that we have kind of working with this energy here. Let's see what we got going on. Yup. You got the Knight of Swords here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. With the Knight of Swords, this is about once you've gotten that... wow, Cancer, look at this. You started out as a Page of Wands. We were thinking, keep in mind too, Cancer, this isn't a gender-specific reading. You are all pages in this scenario here. You started out at this reading with a Page of Wands here. You were looking we did a deep dive trying to figure out what we want to do, what ways we can go about doing it. And now that we've gotten that figured out here, it's time to take action. Because look at that. This with the Page of Swords, that's him leveled up here. He's in the sky. He's got all these birds. He's taken everything that he's learned up until now, and we're putting it into action there. And Cancer too, the one thing with the Knight of Swords is that sometimes that he can, in his pursuit, he can kind of rush through things a little bit, because it's exciting. We're leveling up. We're putting our skills into practice, and we just want to be the best at it as soon as possible. And where I'm with that, Cancer, make sure that we're appreciating the journey along the way, that we're getting all the nuggets of wisdom that we have along this journey here. And I really feel like that's your Wheel of Fortune is coming, because you leveled up before my eyes. It's only a matter of time here, Cancer. So I'm really excited for you. This is going to be, I feel like this, getting ready to come up on this next super new, you know what I'm trying to say, big. I'll leave that there, Cancer. I dig that. And if you dug it too, give that a good old thumbs up. Share this thing. Cancers, you see it. If you've been watching up and, Wheel of Fortune is following you around. There's some bigness. 2023 is, I feel, a big year, and going forward, there's going to be just some real good time for expansion. I was actually doing some readings for the other signs and talking with a friend last night. I don't want to sound dramatic, Cancer, so definitely take it as it resonates, but I definitely feel like that there's like revolutionary type of energy coming here. I feel like, but like in a good way. It's going to be like a renaissance, like a spiritual renaissance. I feel like people are just like manifesting and just like, pursuing their dreams. And I picture this like co-creation here. It's just going to be just a lovely time, Cancer. I'll say, what was that all for? To share that thing. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I upload videos each day. I am getting better about being all over Facebook. And lastly, once you, Cancer, get a better picture of yourself, understand the tools that you're working with. And I've started to post in it. I'm going to start doing this thing weekly where I'm posting little information tidbits at the end of when I post like a weekly playlist from my other channel, Alchemist 8. That's why I'm trying to tell you to subscribe there. But I also have some information for, like, for example, understanding what a moon sign means, what the moon means on a chart, what the houses mean, what the moon means in what house and what, or whatever the planet, whatever the luminary means in what sign, in what house. And then I'm going to do like a numerology thing. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff, Cancer, and I'm going to do different stuff there weekly to kind of help you. I hope it helps, just kind of maybe keeping all that stuff in one place. You can copy this stuff as the things apply for you. And I'm just gonna I got some cool stuff kind of cooking up here because it's like I feel like the more tools that you have at your disposal and the more information that you can soak up, the better. So if you check that out in the in like the community post, when I do posts like that, and I'm gonna decide the first one was I posted on Saturday, so yeah, check that out, and then I think that's everything. So, and all that housekeeping in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card so you can go out there and be a King of Pentacles. Listen, King, look at you again. You've gone from a Page of Pentacles when we were talking about our Wheel of Fortune here, Ash. You started out as your first character here, and now look, you beat the Elite Four, and now you're a champion. And I know that's a little nerdy for you there, but Cancer, abundance. The King of Pentacles is a pimp. Wherever he walks, money's falling out of his pockets. There's just, where if he looks, it's just abundance. I mean, it's and the King of Pentacles is a really kind of it's not a greedy energy either. It's just like wherever there's abundance, he spreads that love with everybody. It's just like, come bask in this thing. This is, let's all just grow from this thing. So, go Cancer, go out there and become a King of Pentacles. Absolutely. That is what's waiting for you at the end of this thing. You just look at that, Page to Knight to King. That's all within you, Cancer. Go out there and get it. Stay safe out there. You keep eyes on that moon. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.